My name's Alan Hilston. We're going to talk today about handcuffing techniques. A couple of things that initially you want to always be careful of when you're handcuffing is you want your keyholes to always face the hands, and that can be done simply by knowing how the handcuff is in your case. So each time I put my handcuffs in, my keyholes are going to be facing each other, and the front single latch is going to be facing the front of my handcuff case. That way, when I pull my handcuffs out, they're automatically set. It's called loading your handcuffs. They're automatically set to be put on in the proper manner. You always want your handcuffs on the opposite side than your firearm. So I'm right-handed with my firearm. I'd always want my handcuffs on the left-hand side. That way, if I'm reaching back to get a handcuff, the guy gets squirrely, grabs for a weapon, I can still get to my firearm and not have my handcuffs in my firearm hand. We're going to do two different types of techniques for handcuffing. We're going to start out with the simple, most commonly used, where the student or the suspect will be off balance. They'll put their hands behind their back. I'm going to grab the thumb of the right hand, place the handcuff on, then grab the thumb of the left hand. By grabbing that thumb, I have control over that individual. If they attempt to run or pull away from me in any way, that thumb, if I have a good grasp on it, I can take them to the ground. The second method we're going to use is would be on the knees with their hands interlaced. If I interlace their fingers on top of their head, I have to reach, and that gets me out of a combat position to where I'm in a not safe environment if they go to fight or they can kick or pull away. On their knees, they've now lowered the center of gravity, they're off balance, and if they try to pull away, all I have to do is push them forward onto the ground and be back in the position that I'm in for tactical. So we're going to have a subject come out. We're going to do a couple of these handcuffing techniques. Okay, so I want you to face away from me. This way. Put your spread your legs wide. Bend over at the waist. Put your hands behind your back with the back of your hands together. Now, once I get him in this position, I'm not going to give any further instruction because I really don't want him to know when I'm going to place the handcuffs on. So I'm going to pull the handcuffs out of the case as I grab his thumb. Now, I have control of him right here. All I have to do, my keyhole will be facing away from him. I'm going to lock it on. Now, it's locked there, and this is a very vulnerable situation because if he pulls away, he then has a weapon in this other handcuff because he can sling this around. So I'm going to grab that chain really tight right there, and I'm going to go to the other hand with that holding that. So I'm going to let go of the thumb, grab the thumb here, push that second cuff on. These handcuffs have not been worked enough to where they easily slide. Now then, I've got him in a good position. One finger hole, turn around this way for me a little bit. One finger hole to get my finger between there, and that would be a double locking situation. So I would use my handcuff key that has a double locking device on the end. Push it in both holes, which if you're handcuffing properly where the keyholes are facing the hand, now you have easy access to double lock that key. Use the double locking device. These are Peerless handcuffs. They are the best made. There's also Smith & Wesson and some other off-brands, Asp, but they are nowhere near the handcuffs that Peerless are. So when you start to take the handcuff off, you want to pull their hand back. Take the first one off. You have to turn it to opposite direction. Then you would instruct him to hold that hand there. You pull this other hand out, away from the body, so he can't use that as a device to swing and to hit with. And then you take the cuffs off. Okay, that is the first. Now to reload, keyholes together, single strand to the facing forward, and in the handcuff case. Okay. Now the second method is someone that's maybe a little more combative, someone that you think may be a flight risk, someone that you feel is offering a danger to yourself or your fellow officers. So you're going to have the person get down on their knees. You're going to have them put their hands on top of their head, interlace their fingers. And you want to be in a combative position, meaning I'm not squared up to him and I'm not right behind him, so if he kicks or tries to swing. If I grab these fingers where they're interlaced, I have control. Pull those fingers apart. He can't pull them apart. He's trying pretty hard there. And I can put as much pain for compliance as I need to in that situation, but he's not going to pull those hands away, and I'm going to be able to handcuff. Now, I've put myself in a bad situation by grabbing him with my left hand. To handcuff him, I would grab him with my right hand, which then you have your weapon hand away in use. But if I have to, in order to get away to pull a weapon, I can push him forward and make room for me to do that. So, back in the position. I'm going to handcuff him. I'm going to grip here. I'm going to pull the handcuffs. Keyhole to the outside. There's the first one on. Then I'm going to grab my hand and I'm going to pull that hand behind him. I'll grab my thumb and I'm going to go from the bottom. Now, it's not comfortable there because of the way we put the cuffs on him, but if he's combative, we're really not looking for comfort, we're looking to be safe. So I've still got my keyholes facing the way I need them to face. He can put his hands interlocked this way, and when he sets back on them, now he doesn't have any options as to put them down over his legs and get out. He's locked in right there. So that's the second method of handcuffing for someone that's more combative. One key aspect of handcuffing is that you always want to think about officer safety, and it's your safety and not necessarily the safety of that individual. The key is to go home at night. And any time that handcuffing is being done, you're taking someone's civil rights away, and you have to be sure that you're protecting yourself as well as them. All right, you can turn it off.